Hello friends, welcome to Learner's Planet. Friends, in our previous sessions we have discussed about various types of angles. We discussed right angle, acute angle, obtuse angle and straight angles. Okay, in this session we are going to discuss some special pair of angles. We are going to discuss adjacent angles, linear pair, vertically opposite angles, complementary angles, supplementary angles and congruent angles. Okay, so let's begin the session. First of all, let's discuss adjacent angles. Friends, two angles are said to be adjacent angles if they have a common vertex, they have one common arm and they are on either side of the common arm. Okay, now let's see this figure. This is P, this is Q and this is R. Okay. Here we see two angles are formed. One is this angle and other is this angle. Okay. Now this is angle, I suppose it is O. It's a vertex. Here we see angle POQ. Angle POQ. Then we see angle QOR. Okay, now we see angle POQ and angle QOR. Both of them are having common vertex, that is vertex O. Now angle POQ and angle QOR, they are sharing a common arm, that is OQ, and they are on opposite sides of this particular ray, that is OQ. Okay, so this angle POQ is this side and angle QOR is this side. So we call them as adjacent angle. So in this figure, angle POQ and angle QOR are adjacent angles. Okay. Further, I just make a quick recap. In this figure, angle POQ and angle QOR are adjacent angles because they have OQ as a common arm and O as the common vertex. Okay, I hope you are clear. Friends, we have just discussed adjacent angles. Now, if sum of two adjacent angle is 180 degree, then they form a linear pair. Okay, here we can see angle ROQ and angle ROP, that is this angle and this angle. Both of them are adjacent angles since they are having a common arm, that is OR, and they are having a common vertex O. Okay, so ROP and ROQ, both of them are adjacent angles, and we see this PQ as a straight line. So this complete angle, that is this complete angle, will be 180 degree since it is a straight angle, or we can say it's a straight line. Okay, that means angle ROP, I just write it over here, angle ROP plus angle ROQ is 180 degree. That means this angle plus this angle is this complete angle. Okay, so angle ROP plus angle ROQ is 180 degree and we call them as linear pair. That means ROP and angle ROQ are linear pair. Okay. Now let's discuss vertically opposite angles. Two opposite angles having no common arm formed by two intersecting lines are called vertically opposite angles. Here we see this line. Suppose it is A, it is C, it is D and it is B. That means we are having two lines AB and CD and they are intersecting at the point O. Okay, we call it as O. Okay. Now in this figure, AB and CD are intersecting at O, and angle AOC, that is this angle, and angle BOD, they are forming a pair and we call them vertically opposite angles. Similarly, angle COB, that is this angle, and angle AOB, D, that is this angle. They are also forming a pair of vertically opposite angles. Okay, so just quick recap. Two opposite angles like this and this having no common arms, and they are formed by two intersecting lines. We call them vertically opposite angles. Okay, and the value of these angles are same. That means in this case angle COB is equal to angle AOD, and angle AOC is equal to angle BOD. Okay, so you are clear about vertically opposite angles? Now let's discuss complementary angles. When the sum of the measures of two angles is 90 degree, they are said to be complementary angles. Suppose 20 and 70, 30 and 60. Okay, their sum is 90 degree, 30 degree and 60 degree. Their sum is also 90 degree. Okay, 10 degree and 80 degree. Their sum is also 90 degree. So we call them complementary angles. Suppose I have this figure with me. It's A, B, C, and it is O. Here angle AOC, this complete angle is 90 degree, isn't it? So it's AOC is a right angle, and angle AOB plus angle BOC is 90 degree. So we call angle BOC and angle AOB as complementary angles. Okay. Now let's discuss supplementary angles. When the sum of the measures of two angles is 180 degree, then we call them supplementary angles. Suppose 40 degree and 140 degree, the sum is 180 degree. That means both of them are supplementary angles. Similarly 30 and 150, their sum is 180 degree. So we call them supplementary angles. We see this figure over here. Suppose this is O, P, Q and R. Here this complete angle, that is ROQ, is 180 degrees since it is a straight line. Okay, and POQ, that is this angle and this angle. Okay, since this complete angle is 180 degree, then this angle plus this angle will definitely be 180 degree. So angle POQ and angle POR, that means plus, that is 180 degree. That means both of them are supplementary angles. Okay, we can say 90 degree is supplementary of 90 degree, 40 degree is supplementary of 140 degree, or 150 degree is supplementary of 30 degree. Okay, now let's discuss congruent angles. If the two angles have the same measure, then the angles are called congruent angles. In this case, let's see, it's A, O, B, and it is P, Q, R. The value of, or the degree measure of this angle is equal to this angle. So angle AOB and angle PQR are congruent. Angle AOB and angle PQR are congruent. Okay, so when the measure of two angles are same, then we call them congruent angles. Okay, now here we see bisector of an angle. A line which divides an angle into two equal parts is called a bisector of the angle. Okay, now here in this figure, suppose it is R, it is O, it is Q, and it is P. Here we see ray OP and OR. Okay, and this ray OQ is passing through O. Okay, that means we've got one angle that is ROP. It's okay. Now angle ROQ and QOP, suppose they are same. That means measure of angle QOP and ROQ is same. I just write it over here. QOP is ROQ. Then we call OQ as bisector of angle ROP. So angle ROP is equal to angle ROQ plus angle QOP. And both of them are equal. So we can write as 2 angle ROQ or 2 angle QOP. Okay, and we call this line, that is OQ, as bisector of angle ROP, since these two angles are equal. Okay, now just see over here. Suppose this is A, P and B, and this is line PM. Okay, now this angle is 90 degree. Here PM is perpendicular bisector of AB. Okay, we can say it is perpendicular bisector of line segment AB, or we can define it: if a line segment is perpendicular to a given line segment, that means here MP is perpendicular to line AB and it divides the given line segment into two equal parts, that means this part and this part is equal, then we can call them as perpendicular bisector of given line segment. So here AB is perpendicular to MP and MP is bisecting this line into two equal parts. So we call it as perpendicular bisector of line segment AB. Okay. Friends, we discussed some basic definitions of angles and we discussed some special pairs of angles. Now let's do some problems based on these concepts. Now here we are given two angles, that is A and B, and we have to find out their relationship, whether they are complementary, linear pair, vertical or adjacent. So let's take the first question. It's angle A and angle B. We see two lines, this and this, are intersecting each other. Okay, that means they don't have any common arm and they are forming, these two angles are formed by intersection of two lines. So angle A will be equal to angle B and we call them vertically opposite angles. Okay, and angle A will be equal to angle B. Okay, here we see this line and this line is intersecting angle B and A. We have to find out their relationship. Now this is a straight line, that means this complete angle will be 180 degree. So if this complete angle is 180 degree, that means sum of angle A and B will be 180 degree. Okay, so if sum of angle A and B is 180 degree, we can call them as linear pair. Now angle A and angle B are also adjacent to each other. Since they are adjacent to each other and their sum is 180 degree, we call them as linear pair. Okay. Now what is the definition of adjacent angle? Just have a quick recap. If two angles are sharing a common vertex and they have a common arm. So it's a common vertex, this, suppose it is O, and this is a common arm. So we call them as adjacent angles. Okay, and what is the definition of linear pair? If sum of two adjacent angle is 180 degree, then we call them linear pair. So we can see different images or different diagrams over here. It's the same, but the way of presentation is a bit different. So you should be conceptually clear. In all the cases, we can see a straight line here and here, and A and B are adjacent angle here and here. Okay, and sum of A and B will be 180 degree and they are forming a linear pair. Okay. Now here we see different sets of angles or pairs of angles. Further, A and B are vertically opposite. Here we can see A and B, they're having a common vertex, that is, suppose it is O, and they're having a common arm, that is this. That means angle A and B are adjacent angles. Okay. And the same from these two diagrams we can see here also and here also A and B are adjacent angles. In this case A and B, further they are adjacent angles since they are having a common arm and a common vertex. Okay, but sum of angle A and B is 90 degrees. Since this angle is 90 degree, this angle will also be 90 degree. So angle A plus angle B is 90 degree. So we can call them as complementary angle. Okay. Here we can say multiple lines over here, they are intersecting at this particular point. This is O. So angle A and B, they are sharing a common arm. Okay, and they are having a common vertex, that is O. So A and B, they are adjacent angles. Okay, here A and B, they don't have a common arm, but they are sharing a common vertex and they are vertically opposite angles. Okay, here angle A and B, this angle is 90 degree and this is vertically opposite angle to it, so it will also be 90 degree. Now since it is a straight line, this remaining angle will also be 90 degree, so the complete angle should be 180 degree. So it is 90, that means this remaining angle will also be 90 degree. Now A and B are adjacent angles since they are having a common arm and common vertex. Further, angle A plus angle B is 90 degree, so we call them as complementary angles also. Here A and B, they are adjacent angles, and since they are made on a straight line, so this complete angle is 180 degree, so we can call them as linear pair. So here A and B are a linear pair. Now friends, using these definitions of all the angles, adjacent angles, linear pair, vertically opposite angles, complementary angles, supplementary angles, we have to find out the missing angles in these given diagrams. Okay, now let's begin to take this first problem. Here we have to find out the value of B. Now you can see this complete angle is 90 degree, isn't it? Since it is a right angle. Now if this complete angle is 90 degree and this particular part is 64 degree, then what will be the value of B? B plus 64 degree is 90 degree. That means B is 90 minus 64, or we can say 26 degree. Okay. So just a simple property we have used, that is the sum of complementary angles is 90 degree. Here B and 64 are complementary to each other and their sum must be 90 degree. So if we know this angle is 64 and their sum is 90, then we can find out the value of B. So B is 90 minus 64, that is 26 degree. Similarly over here, this angle is 90 degree, that means this angle will also be 90 degree since both of them are lying on a straight line. So the complete angle must be 180 degree. If this line is extended, then its complete angle is 180 degree. That means 52 plus B is 90 degree. That means B is equal to 90 minus 52, or we can say 48 degree. That means angle B is 48 degree. And 52 and 48 are complementary to each other since their sum is 90 degree. Similarly, the same property we are using over here, it's the complete angle is 90 degree. That means B plus 67 is 90. That means B is 90 minus 67, or we can say 23 degree. That means the value of angle B is 23 degree. Similarly, you can do it over here. it's 55 and b plus 55 is 90. So if it is 55, it will be 35. Okay, since this complete angle is 90 degree. Okay, this particular box, half box, is a sine of 90 degree. Okay, friends. Friends, I would recommend you to start doing sums with me. So by the end of this session, you'll have a good grip on these concepts. Okay. Further, here we see it is 65 plus b, and we can see a right angle over here. So 65 plus b is 90 degree. That means b is 90 minus 65, or we can say it is 25 degree. Okay. Here, this complete angle is 360 degree. That means a circle is of 360 degree. So here this angle is 248. This portion is 88. Then we have to find out B. So B plus 88 plus 248 is 360. That means the value of B is 360 minus 88 minus 248. That is, it's 24 degree. Okay, so the value of angle B is 24 degree. Here B and 114, both of them are linear pair, isn't it? So it's a complete angle. This complete angle is lying on a straight line. So this complete angle is 180 degree. That means B plus 114 is 180 degree. That means B is equal to 180 minus 114. That means B is equal to 66 degree. Okay. Similarly, we can do this problem. This complete center angle will be 360 degree. So we can write 226 plus 47 plus B is 360 degree. So B will be 360 minus 226 minus 47. So B will be 87 degree. Okay. Now we see here B and 101, both of them are a linear pair. So B plus 101 is 180 degree. That means B is 180 minus 101, or we can say 79 degree. Okay. Here 87 and B, both of them are vertically opposite angles, since they are just opposite sides of two intersecting lines. So if it is 87, it will also be 87 degree. Okay. Similarly, you can solve this problem. B plus 55 is 90. So B will be 35 degree. The same problem we have done. In this case, this complete angle is 360 degree. So it's 203. It's 103. That means the total is 306. And this complete angle is 360. So the remaining portion is 54 degree. Okay. Here we can see this line is a straight line. So 49 plus B is 180. This is a straight line. So 49 plus B is 180. That means B will be 131 degree. Okay. Then we see over here it is 78 degree and it is B, and they are vertically opposite angle. That means this angle and this angle is same. So if it is 78 degree, B will be 78 degree. Similarly, we can see over here B and 68, they are vertically opposite angles. So B will also be 68 degree. Similarly, we see 67 and B, further they are vertically opposite angles. So B will also be 67 degree. Friends, we are doing so many problems just for the concept clarity. Okay. So various diagrams we are seeing over here, and continuously we are doing the similar problem. Okay. So I hope you are getting a good practice. Now, in these questions, we have to find out the value of x. Friends, we have already discussed about all the pairs of angles like complementary angles, supplementary angles, linear pair, adjacent angles. Okay, now the same concepts we have to apply over here, and we have to find out the value of x. Okay, now let's take this question. Here we can see this complete angle is 90 degree. Okay, and 90 degree is broken between 23 and 2x plus 1. Okay, that means 2x plus 1 plus 23 is 90 degree, and both of them are adjacent angles. So just write the equation. It's 2x plus 1 plus 23 is 90. So 2x is equal to 90 minus 24. So 2x is equal to 66. That means x is equal to 33. Quite simple. We just have applied the property of right angle. Okay, here this plus this is 90 degree. Similarly over here we can see this angle plus this angle will be 90 degree, and both the angles are adjacent. So just write 12 plus 2x plus 4x is 90. 6x is equal to 90 minus 12. 6x is equal to 78. That means x is equal to 13 degree. Okay, quite simple. Now here we can see these two angles are vertically opposite. Whenever you see a shape of x, you can say that the angles opposite are vertically opposite angles. Okay, so 4x plus 3 and 55, both of them are vertically opposite angles, and vertically opposite angles are same. So 4x plus 3 is equal to 55. So 4x is equal to 52. So x is equal to 13. Okay, quite simple. Similarly, we can see over here, this and this, both the angles are same since they are vertically opposite. So 3x plus 2 is 68. 3x is equal to 66. That means x is equal to 33. Quite simple. Now just see here. This complete angle is 360 degree, that the center angle, or we can say the angle of a circle, center angle of a circle is 360 degree. That means this plus this plus this is 360 degree. So just write the equation. Minus 76 plus x plus 40 plus 297 is 360. Okay, now we have to find out the value of x. So x will be 360 plus 76 minus 40 minus 297. So it is 99. Okay, so the value of x in this is 99 degree. Okay, similarly we can see over here, both of them are adjacent angle, and we can say they are linear pair. Okay, so the sum of both of them will be 180 degree. So x plus 18 plus 5x is 180. That means 6x is equal to 180 minus 18. That means 6x is equal to 162. That means x is equal to 162 by 6. Okay, quite simple. Further, in this question, this and this, both the angles will be of 90 degree. Okay, since this is 90 degree and it is a straight line, so this angle will also be of 90 degree. So 2x plus x minus 3 is 90 degree. So 3x is equal to 90 plus 3, that is 93. That means x is equal to 31. Quite simple. Similarly, in this question, 124 and x plus 15 is linear pair, and sum of these two angles will be 180 degree since this complete line is a straight line. So it's 124 plus x plus 15 is 180. Okay, so x is equal to 180 minus 124 minus 15. So it's 41 degree. Okay. Now similarly in this question, you must be knowing x plus 8 and 2x plus 1 will be 90 degree. So x plus 8 plus 2x plus 1 is 90 degree. Both the angles are complementary to each other and adjacent, and this angle is 90 degree. Okay. So it's 3x is equal to 90 minus 9. That means 3x is equal to 81. That means x is equal to 27. Okay. Similarly, this complete angle will be 360 degree. So let's write the equation. X minus 121 plus x minus 112 plus 297 is 360. Okay. So it's 2x is equal to 360 plus 121 plus 112 minus 297. So 2x is equal to, so it's 296. That means x is equal to 148. Okay, quite simple. Here we see both of them are forming linear pair. So sum of these two will be 180. So it's x minus 13 plus 3 plus 4x is equal to 180. 4x plus x is 5x is equal to 180 plus 13 minus 3. So 5x is equal to 180 plus 10, that is 190. So x is equal to 190 by 5, that is 38. Okay. Now in this question, sum of the all three will be 360 degree. So let's write the equation over here. It's just a moment. It is 49 plus 2x plus 2 plus 5x plus 1 is 360. Now 2x plus 5x is 7x is equal to 360 minus 49 minus 2 minus 1. So 7x is equal to 360 minus 52. So 7x is equal to 360 minus 52, that is 308. So x is equal to 44. Okay. I hope you are clear. Here we see group of lines. All these lines we can call them as concurrent lines since they are passing from the same point, and this is the point of concurrence. Okay, now we see this line, I mean this V shape and this V shape, or we can say this is an X which is being formed over here. So 6x plus 5 and 59, both of them are vertically opposite angles. Okay, now vertically opposite angles are same. Okay, so 6x plus 5 is equal to 59. That means 6x is equal to 54. That means x is equal to 9. Quite simple. We just have used the property of vertically opposite angles. In this question, I don't have to tell you anything about it. 6x plus 1 plus 41 will be 90 degree. Okay, so 6x is equal to 90 minus 42. So 6x is equal to 48 and x is equal to 8. Okay. Now I think you must be clear about all the these properties. You can very well say now that 2x and 46, both of them are vertically opposite angles. So 2x will be 46. That means x will be 23. Okay, quite simple. Similarly, this complete angle will be 360 degree. So just write the equation. It's 18 plus x minus 13 plus 3x will be 360 degree. Okay, so 18 x plus x and 3x, it is completely 5x is equal to 360, and 18 minus 13 is 5, so it's 360 minus 5, so x will be 355 by 5, so it's 71. Quite simple. Further, we will not go for paperwork. I just explain you orally. It's 6x plus 2 will be 86, and both of them are vertically opposite angles. So 6x plus 2 is 86. That means 6x is 84. That means x is equal to 84 by 6. That means x is equal to 14. Okay, just do on your own. Okay, similarly, this plus this will be 90 degrees. Since this is a straight line, so this complete angle will be 180 degree, and this portion is of 90 degree. That means this complete portion, that is this portion, will also be of 90 degree. So 13 plus 2x plus 3x plus 2 is 90. So 5x is equal to 90 minus 15. So x is equal to 75 by 5, we can say 15. Okay. Friends, we have done so many problems based on complementary angles, vertically opposite angles, linear pair, adjacent angles. Okay, we will be taking more such problems in our next session. Do revise this session and do practice well with all the concepts. Bye bye.